You want to know how much we paid for bikes to get to Argentina?
We are in
Northside
BMW,
Yeah.
and our bikes are parked and ready to go
Yes.
to Argentina. So, yeah,
Yeah, these are the
our babies. Yeah.
We are ready to leave Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to serious business and let's talk about money. If anyone is considering to come to South America to ride, there are several things they have to take in account. First is where you're coming from, your passport, things like those. If
Yes.
you're coming from a country like ours, Kenya, there are so many regulations that are put into place by the Argentinian government if you are to import a car or a motorcycle into South America. The biggest hurdle is it's very financially prohibitive for anyone, especially from Africa, to come into South America and ride their motorcycles.
To be honest, we are so grateful that we have the Kenyan number plate in Argentina.
Yeah.
That is something that we can never put a value on. Never. But the amount we spent on shipping 2 bikes, we could have bought a bike.
Yeah.
So we'll take you through what happened. From the budget we had for shipping bikes, the research we did, and the process from when we got to South Africa and we looked for shippers, the companies to ship with, and all the way to Argentina. So let's start. This is actually stealing a glance of my bike. See, she got new tires. She's now so ready for off-road. We got nubbies, and there she is parked inside.
I think let's start by what you just said. The reason why we wanted to go around the world with our Kenyan number plate is to start a conversation. And the fact that we're Kenyans and no Kenyan has ridden around the world with a Kenyan plated bike or car, then we think it will be, it was a logical reason. How we thought about it, I'm not sure, but awesome.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the first bit was, when we were planning the trip, we actually came up with a budget and did a bit of research on how much it will cost us to ship the bikes from South Africa to Buenos Aires. And we had a budget of $2,500 per bike.
Things changed.
Did we meet that?
Look at my straight face.
Yes.
Things change. And they change every time, every day.
Like getting the shipping company in South Africa.
You have to first get the visa, secure your visa.
Yes. And then we obviously looked for a shipping company. And how did we go about it? We went online and we Googled other travelers by motors, in Argentina they're called motors, who have done this and have shipped bikes from South Africa to Argentina or somewhere.
It's vibrating the video.
Oh, okay. Or somewhere in South America. So we got a couple of blogs that led us to a couple of people but majority were actually shipping from Cape Town, and unfortunately we were not able to go to Cape Town. We wanted to ship from Johannesburg. So point number 1, you have more shippers in Cape Town than you have in Johannesburg.
True.
So we looked for a shipper through writing to South African Airlines.
Yeah.
And a good gentleman on the other side of the email, we don't know him, we never met him, we never got to talk to him again, gave us, said if you're shipping from South Africa, anything, you cannot deal with the airline directly. You have to have a shipping company. And he was kind enough to forward us a shipping company that they use with the airline. So
in South Africa, they call them consolidators.
Yes. So that's how we arrived at our shipping company. How would you rate them?
3 out of 5. We'll tell you why.
Yes.
After you identify the shipper, first you have to crate the motorcycle. Then they have to measure the length, width, and the height. Whatever is greater, the weight or the length, width, and the height, the volume of the bike, they choose what's greater. So for us, they chose the greater, which was volume.
And this is where we learned something else. When we were creating, we were very fortunate to have BMW South Africa help us with the creating. Unfortunately, they only had 2 crates available
in the whole
of South Africa.
Yeah.
They said it was in the whole of South Africa. Let's say in Johannesburg, because I think it would have been very expensive to transport 2 crates from Cape Town. They probably had. So 1 crate was for a BMW F700, but the other crate was for a 16. It was a 1600, the bigger one.
The big bikes.
Yes, and this is where we learned. We didn't know initially that we will be charged on volume. All along we knew we will be charged on kgs. But guess what happened? The bigger crate gave us more volume and more cost.
After you get the shipper, the first paperwork is after they identify the volume or the weight, they give you a cost for that. Second thing, they give you, you have to have a dangerous goods certificate.
Yeah.
If you haven't drained all the fluids from the bike, from the motorbike, they deem it as dangerous goods. So you'll have a separate certificate for that. Have the people who are creating the bike or doing all that stuff issue a letter showing that you've drained all the fluids.
Yeah.
And we'll put all the other costs, but it cost us shipping from South Africa to Argentina. Cost us 550,606. When we got to Argentina, there were other costs that were supposed to be incurred. When
we got on this other side, there were things like quarantine certificate that we had to pay for.
Clearing agents.
We also had to pay for custom charges, and we had to pay for airway bill again to the airline. Then we didn't understand why.
In order to clear the bike from the customs, and this cost was 318,528.
Yeah, also had to pay insurance. That's necessary, that's a must, so that's not something that...
So getting the bikes out from South Africa, out on this other side cost us 869,135.
To get them where you're seeing them.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is actually priced for a very good bike in South America, in Argentina.
Those are 2 bikes. Those are 2
you can actually,
really good bikes.
You can actually hire a bike and drive it here.
And buy a bike.
And sell it.
Crash it, misuse it, abuse it, leave it here.
You'll be able to sell it and have change and put petrol in it and pay insurance and everything. So, do we regret this? No, because we have the Kenyan number plate here. Our bikes are well written with messages, and we feel
it was just important for us.
Yes, but the cost was basically way beyond
what we had
budgeted for these bikes.
So this essentially means we'll be eating nothing.
We'll try and have some fun. I think the best thing to do is also give the highlights of like the lessons we've learned from this. Let's start from when you choose your shipper. We had a couple of experiences with a shipper that we felt maybe
and they would have been handled better.
For example, we needed our Carnet stamped in South Africa. Even if we were flying the bikes had to exit South Africa. Our shipper was not very conversant with it, and it's something that we had to really stress to him and say, you know what, we had the Carnet stamped entering South Africa. It has to be stamped by custom that the bikes have left, because we cannot take it through the airport with ourselves. The shipper has to do it for you, because he is the one who's sending away the bikes.
Yeah, that
was one. And he also insisted that he wanted to send the original documents with the bikes.
Yes, which we did not want. We wanted to have it on ourselves, so when we came to Argentina, we could actually clear the bikes with our original documents.
What he wanted to do was basically like you buying a ticket and then giving your passport and your ticket to the airline for you to show up. How do you identify yourself as the owner of the passport or the owner of the ticket and you're flying? So we explained to him, which thereafter he understood what we meant.
The other thing was because we were arriving during the G20, and the customs office in Argentina was pretty much closed during that time. We had told him to ship for the bikes to arrive on Monday after the G20 had ended, but the bikes arrived before the G20 was over, so we incurred additional storage costs at the customs, which was very prompt, but didn't go as planned, but we incurred additional costs.
Yeah, so that brings us to the cost that we incurred. The second cost we incurred that we didn't have to. The first one was on a bigger crate for the bike, so the volume was more and we paid more. We didn't have to pay that. And the second one was that our shipping agent did not respect our instructions, and therefore we had storage charges in Argentina that we didn't have to pay for. And one thing to note is that Argentina custom does not work over the weekend. So if you're shipping anything into Argentina, make sure it doesn't arrive on a Friday, because if it arrives on a Friday, it means you will not be able to clear it, and you will incur costs for storage on Friday, Saturday and Sunday until Monday.
And the last thing, I think, which is the most important, we came into Argentina with only one contact, but he was a very, very, very solid contact. And he's helped other people clear, so it was very easy and smooth, because they know the process and they are really super helpful and knowledgeable about the clearing process.
Yeah, actually he's highly recommended on Horizon Unlimited. He was highly recommended by a few people that we talked to, that we met have done the trips in South America, and we can tell you that what other people have said about this couple is exactly the truth.
Super professional,
very efficient, and they know their work. We will be putting their link below for anyone who may want to travel to to Argentina.
Yeah.
Yes. What other lesson did we learn?
International driving license and temporary import permit and insurance is very important.
Yeah, we also learned that you don't need a Carnet in South America. If you're not going to be traveling outside South America, you do not need a Carnet. We paid for our Carnet because in the first 1 year we were going to cover southern of Africa. We didn't need a Carnet, and now we realize we don't need a Carnet in South America
and North America, and
we need it in
Australia.
So basically another cost we incurred that we didn't have to. A Carnet.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah.
If there is any question regarding to the cost of shipping and where to and how to ship, then we can always drop us a line. We'll be very prompt to answer. And yeah, click and subscribe.
Yes, thank you so much. We hope we didn't scare you from having your motor come to South America to ride and travel with it down here. It's amazing. South America is very beautiful. So far we've just been in Buenos Aires, and we are heading out in so looking forward to share much more of our travel. If you haven't subscribed, please do click the button, click the bell, get notified when we do post anything. Yes, and we are always happy to have you here. Thank you. Ta-da. Because we didn't have fuel left in the bikes, we had to push now. That's just pushing my bike. So here we have to put some fuel. I think we have a bit of like 2 liters each that can get us to a petrol station.